The views expressed on this holiday podcast special are those of the podcasters, any guests, and do not reflect any of the management, employees, sponsorships, or affiliates of thereof.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Do you ever feel alone during the holidays? I've been there before, and it's not a fun place to be, which is why I wanted to create a special for somebody like me back in the day. I just wish I had a listening ear, or maybe even heard stories that brightened up my time or my mood. I wanted that. So here's my gift to you. This is 12 Days of Christmas with me, DreRawka. I got some of my closest friends, and we talk Christmas. We talk about their favorite traditions and new ones as well. I hope you enjoy, and a very Merry Christmas from me to you.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Listen daily with my dad and his friends for 12 Days of Christmas. Only here on Unrestricted.
Welcome back, Unrestricted Podcast, DreRawka, Podsmas. We're celebrating Christmas, the holidays. We're glad that you're with us. Hopefully you and your family had a great Thanksgiving, and hopefully going into December, hopefully you're having a great Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas or whatever you celebrate, that's what this is about. This is about good feels, good vibes, and just helping people through these 12 days. And today I got a very special guest across from me, my coworker, my friend, somebody that is, she kept a secret for a long time. And I knew about this secret, but I didn't know what the secret was. I got LP on the other side of me.
Ooh, hello everybody. I'm excited to be back again.
It's Lexa, but we got Alexa in the corner, so we can't say Alexa. So we'll refer to you as LP all day.
I'll answer to both, so it works.
How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. I've had a really good year. I think the last time I was here was about this time last year, and a lot's changed since then. So I'm glad to be back. I'm in good spirits, good energy, good vibes, a lot different than where I was last time I filmed here.
Yeah, and we just had Thanksgiving. Do you do the whole Thanksgiving thing?
I do, yeah. I like to, eat with my dad and my stepmom, and then I usually crash some friends' family Thanksgivings just so I'm not at home all day because I share my son. Yeah. So I don't like to be stuck at home all day and get in bad vibes or sad vibes. So. Yeah. I went and crashed some friends' Thanksgiving. I ate a lot of food. What was it? Thanksgiving was like a few days ago?
Yeah.
2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was stuffed like a turkey for sure, but it was delicious.
What's your go-to plate?
I love if somebody has like steamed Brussels sprouts. My friend's family had like bacon in it.
Whoa.
And I've never had that combination. It was so good because it's salty, crunchy, and if they can steam it pretty well, it's so good.
Brussels sprouts is one of those vegetables. Did you always love Brussels sprouts?
Every time I've had them, I've loved them.
From being a kid to adult?
Honestly, I think I don't remember having them as a kid, but anytime in like my adulthood, I've had them. If I go get sushi or like at a Chinese restaurant, I think they're so delicious. And then I have braces too, so I have to be really particular with what I eat now.
Yeah.
And those are just a nice switch up change because honestly, I eat a lot of mashed potatoes every time I like leave my orthodontist appointment. So I was kind of sick of those. By Thanksgiving, I'll eat them, but for the first few days, I can't eat much because my teeth are so sore. So, and the turkey's okay. It depends on who makes it. If it's dry, then that's a struggle.
That's when you get the extra gravy.
Yep, and you just gotta like dump it all around.
You said Brussels sprouts and I instantly cringed because back in the day my dad used to steam Brussels sprouts and I'm sure he did it great, but it was the smell. It just got to me. Same with cooked broccoli. It was the smell got to me. I was like,
oh yeah, it has to be really seasoned.
But front desk Sarah at the station, she put me on the Vessel Kitchen. And Vessel Kitchen has amazing Brussels sprouts.
Theirs is so good. I've eaten there a few times, and I like it because it's more of like a healthier dining place, and it's a great like sit-in place. It's a little pricey, but I think it's worth the price you get because everything's made from scratch and like healthier and vegan, and I mean, I'm not a vegan, but it's nice to switch things up from like my regular places that have like a lot of carbs in it and sugar and whatever.
But is it eating healthy if you here's my thing, right? It's like sushi eaters. Oh, I love sushi. I'm hardcore sushi. You get the deep fried Vegas roll. You get the dragon roll with it's deep fried and cooked. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing with these Brussels sprouts. Is it cheating because you said you got bacon in it? So you pair bacon with anything. You put bacon with dog shit, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't care. I've done a lot of good lifestyle changes for myself, for my body. And right now, eating isn't like on my top priority list of making sure I'm constantly eating healthy. I have to have like a good balance, especially since getting sober. My sweet tooth came back. I don't think I ever really had a sweet tooth until I quit drinking. And then I realized I was like, oh, I was drinking all my sugar. So now donuts is like my vice. And so when you brought them, I was like, this is amazing.
Shout out to JJ Donuts in North Salt Lake, man. They took
so
care of
good.
me.
And they smell good.
Fresh, daily.
Yeah. And they don't taste super sugary either. So I don't know. It's probably not the healthiest version. I like to eat a little bit of healthier style for sushi, but I'll do the fried roll too. It's better than like McDonald's.
Yeah.
So
that's what I always tell myself too.
Yeah.
But then that double cheeseburger be slapping. And it's cheap. It's $1.
It's not $1 with inflation.
No,
it's like $1.80, I feel like,
and
which
tax.
is crazy. I don't even think they have $1 menu.
Thanksgiving dinner. I used to be able to get Thanksgiving dinner, turkey, maybe $25-$30. And everything else. I used to be able to get it for about maybe $80. I'm spending about $130 on one dinner.
To feed your family?
To feed my family, to feed whoever comes to my house, right? My dad, my stepmom, my in-laws. Like, yeah. My kids, I lie. My oldest son will have some of the fixings, right? He'll have some turkey, some potatoes, maybe some dressing. But my middle child, he's picky. He won't touch anything on Thanksgiving table.
Not even the turkey?
He won't touch nothing. He's very much like a chicken nugget and like fries type of kid. Very picky.
Yeah. Kids go through that phase, I feel like. My son went through it.
But my baby, Naya, she will eat up everything. She wants everything. And I love it. She's 3 years old, so it's like, it makes me happy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And 3, she had to go through the pandemic. That poor thing.
Oh yeah, she's a pandemic baby.
Oh.
My girl said the trending thing is that pandemic babies are built different.
I think so. They had to endure life at a really weird time where the whole world kind of stopped. My friend's niece that was there at Thanksgiving, she's a pandemic baby. She's 5, and they're like, sorry, she's a little shy. And I was like, no, like, I love it. I'm not used to it. My son's very extroverted. He'll talk to anybody and he'll act like you guys have been friends his whole life. But yeah, we all brought that up too. I was like, I can't imagine being a baby/toddler and everywhere you go, people are covered in masks and everyone's kind of on edge. So that's a hard time. I mean, for me as an adult, COVID really changed my life and not in the best of ways. So I cannot imagine trying to do that as a kid. I think they're going to be great. Gen Alpha's exciting for me. I hope they do a lot. They change the world.
You said Gen Alpha?
Yeah, that's so our kids, our younger kids, that's their generation name.
They're Gen Alpha.
Right? Isn't that cool?
Damn,
I think that's
man.
a predetermined set, like, existence that we're just giving them, and I think they're gonna have a lot. I think people dog on Gen Z and whatever. It's always the older generations ragging on the little kids.
Yeah.
But I think especially with us like millennials, I'm like a younger millennial, I think. But for me, I'm like, I had my son so young and I can see his friends and how they react in this day-to-day life, and I just think they're so cool and funny. I don't know. I wish the best for them. Every generation has their faults and their quirks and their weird things, and obviously those kids grew up on technology and we didn't. I had a mixture of both, but much more in like my older teen life is when technology even came around, so I got a little bit of the best of both worlds where they don't know anything different.
What are you, 94?
94, yeah. I'm 29 in a couple weeks.
Yeah. And what, Gen Z is 85? Like, that's the cutoff, right? Or millennial is 85, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Maybe 84.
I think it's something like that.
I'm not as smart as that one.
But I feel like Boomers was a cool name. Like, Boomers is a cool title. I feel like it's strong. And then you got Gen Z that's like, yeah, Gen Z. And then you got millennials. And I feel like the name millennial always gets shitted on.
Yeah, we do. But it's the older generation's always ragging on us for something. But I feel like millennials have done so much already to contribute. And especially with like really hard conversations to have. Not everybody wants to do that. A lot of people get annoyed by it. But I mean, somebody has to do it. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good thing to question authority. I'm different. I've always been that way as a kid. But I think it's good in some ways to question what you're always used to or what older adults have always told you. That's how people progress. That's how we evolve. That's how technology changes. I mean, whoever invented the printer, I'm sure when he first like brought that up to somebody, they were like, you're crazy. Or a computer, you know, like things like that. Somebody has to dream big and have weird conversations. So Gen Alpha, I mean, who knows what they're going to have? We already have like Cybertrucks running around. I saw one down the street the other day. I was like, who owns this Cybertruck? It's bizarre. It looks like a Lego.
Like the Tesla?
The Tesla Cybertruck, yeah.
You seen one?
I saw it, yeah, on this marketplace down the street in Bountiful. I was like, I didn't even know you could get those yet. And it literally looks like an electric, like Lego truck just moving. I'm like, how much does that take to fill up? I cannot even imagine. Or it's electric, duh. But still, the time frame, the time to sit there, watch it, load, I don't know.
How long does it take to charge?
Yeah. Because it's massive, too. It's way much bigger than like a normal truck.
And you can't even hear it, I bet.
I mean, I don't know.
I bet you when it drives, it's just like... Zzz. Have you ever heard these electric vehicles? You
no.
can't hear them. Teslas, it just literally it sounds like you're flicking on lights. It's just like...
That's kind of cool. I would love one in theory, but then it's like... I'm one of those people that always loves to test how far I can drive on an empty gas tank. So I don't know if I would do well with like a Tesla car. It's not even that I can't fill it up. It's just like even yesterday coming home from City Creek. So it's like what, 2 exits away, 15 minutes. I left on an empty tank all the way home because I was like, I don't want to stop. It's cold. So it's dark outside.
When did you stop?
This morning. I'd rather do it while there's daylight. More safety reasons, but also, too, it's just like...
That's why you were 2 minutes late.
I like to live a little on the edge. I don't know. That's what I do now with my free time.
That's a minority thing. That's a minority thing.
It is. Honestly, yeah. I mean, my parents did it. I, growing up, always put like $20 in my gas tank. That used to fill it up. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, I mean, I'll have the money to fill it up, but just for principle, I'm like 25. That's all you get from me today.
Gas is under $3.
It's going down, which is exciting. I work from home now, though, so I don't drive as much, and it's been nice to have that extra money because I usually drive all the time, everywhere.
I wonder why, though. Why is gas so cheap right now? Is it the war in Israel? Like,
I don't know, probably.
Like, is there, like, because it went up because things were going on with Russia, right?
Yeah, in Ukraine, yeah.
Is it going down because now the focus has changed? Or is it going down just because? I don't know. It's just weird. I was driving. I was like, what? $2.98?
Yeah, it makes me happy. I filled up for like $34, which is the cheapest I filled up in several years. And I drive like a 2021 Toyota Corolla. Like it already doesn't take that much to fill up, but it used to be like $47.50, depending on if I do it in like South Salt Lake or up here. And that makes me want to throw up. So I'm glad it's going down.
You mentioned that 2023 has been a good year for you, a year of change, of growth.
Yeah, probably one of the best years I've had since my son was born, to be honest.
What makes it the best year?
Honestly, the biggest thing was getting sober. I'm 300 days sober today, which is like, woo! Thank you. Thank you.
That's why I brought donuts.
Yes. No, I love donuts. But getting sober was the biggest thing. I knew I needed to do it. After we filmed last time I was here, I called you like a week later just crying because I was so embarrassed on like how I even talked on the episode. And
and that, honestly, I never brought that up. That was a you and me thing.
Yeah.
But you brought it up. But what was the first thing I told you? I said, no, you're good. I wouldn't put you in that light.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make you feel or look or do anything stupid, right?
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. I was living constantly in that state of anxiety. And it's so hard to do that when, one, I'm already an outgoing person. I love talking with people, but I don't think anybody understood how much I was constantly like living with that, waking up feeling like I couldn't catch my breath, always feeling like I'm doing something wrong, feeling on edge. I mean, calling you and being like, you're fine, you're great. Like that calmed me down so much. And it was almost like I was a toddler constantly just getting ridiculed. I didn't realize how much I struggled with anxiety until COVID hit, and I live alone. And when you're forced to just sit in your thoughts, I was not the nicest. I'm my biggest bully. I've said the worst things you can say about somebody to myself. It's a lot has to do with my life and things that I've gone through, and that in turn gives you mental illnesses. I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a result of constant life-altering trauma back to back to back that my brain isn't able to like function on the regular cylinders that everyday people did. So after that call, I went sober like a couple weeks, and then I'd drink again, and then I'd be sober a couple weeks, and then I'd drink again. And then when I got casted for Netflix, I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm not going to drink again. I can't drink while I'm in there, so I might as well just stick to what I know. And then after filming, I got drunk again in London, and that trip was my last time drinking because it was like a big wake-up call for me that I was like, if I don't stop, my luck's running out. Like, I'm just getting progressively worse, and it scared me. And I've never been arrested. I've never been to rehab. I've never had people write me letters of like need and begging me to, you know, get sober, fix your life. But I think, especially at my age, if you tell people like, hey, I'm getting sober and I don't like be perceived or look like an alcoholic, I'm not like a bum under the street. I have a great job. I take care of my kids. My priorities are straight. What I've learned, like getting sober, is you don't have to burn your house down to run out. And that was kind of what was holding me back. I was like, oh, I just can't drink for the rest of my life. But now with how far I've been in it, I'm like, I'm so glad I get the chance to like enjoy life in my most raw, like authenticity. And my anxiety is like next to none now. I feel comfortable more in my own skin, but I'm also still adjusting. I've never lived in a world or been an adult where I wasn't constantly numbing my feelings or my body to be anywhere or be with anybody. So it's been changed for like dating, parenting, going to the grocery store, sitting at home with my own thoughts. Like that was tough, but it's, I think in result, the universe has gifted me with a really incredible year and like life-changing moments. And I've been able to take the little things or the hard things and actually manage it now instead of feel like everything's falling onto me, living in victim mode. I was living in victim mode. Obviously, when you go through hard things, it's hard and it takes time to heal, but I was really, really stuck in it and I couldn't see like a way out, and my depression was getting worse, and I was in my therapy, but I was like, this isn't even helping, and I didn't want to get on meds. And that's when, after the trip with Netflix, I was like, okay, like I just got to be sober for like 3 months. I haven't made it to 3 months. If I feel better by then, I'll stick with it. If nothing's changed, I guess I'll just go down to the liquor store. Like no one's forcing me to get sober. But after that 3-month mark, I was like, I'm never turning back. And you know, when you get sober, they say never. But for me, I don't think about drinking anymore. It's not something where I'm like, oh, like today I could really use a drink. Obviously those like thoughts randomly creep in my mind, but I've set such a good process for me and met a lot of sober people that I can reach out to if that ever did happen. And it's been really great. And I cannot imagine like how different my life would be if I didn't get sober, because I was heading down a road that was really scaring myself. And not a lot of people really knew how bad it was. I mean, when you work a 12-step program, you got to make amends. I texted you. I texted Bangerang. People I don't think I've really actually harmed, but I mean, you've been around me drunk, and I know how I behave when I'm drunk. I'm annoying. I'm loud. Last time we filmed, I messed up your mic, and it felt like those aren't unforgivable tasks, but there's still things and decisions I made while I was under the influence. And mostly everybody was like, I didn't know you had a problem. I'm proud of you. And I mean, that makes me feel better, but it's also just means I was a really great actress. because again, nobody really, I think, understood how bad it was getting for me. So that's made a really great year.
Well, I think I'm proud of you. I think that's really awesome.
Thank you.
Is Lexa saying good things about herself now?
Yeah, I am. I got really in touch with my spirituality. When you get sober, you are forced to, I don't know, find some sense of a higher power. I grew up really religious, really LDS. And so I knew what God was. I knew one type of religion. But after I left at like 16, 17, I didn't just not go to church. I went to every type of church. I've been to Baptist, Pentecostal, just like random small gospel churches. I mean, I did it all for a couple years because I just needed something, because losing that sense of comfort is really hard on your spirit when you don't know anything different. Your family's all one religion. And then I was atheist for a few years, and especially during COVID, that got hard again for me, because I was, you know, trying to comfort my son, and when you don't feel like you have the answers to anything, you feel dumb, but you also feel this like existential dread of like no hope. And it's not to say I don't think atheists can't have hope, but I lived in that atheism for years and loved sharing that for years, and it wasn't serving me any sort of purpose. So getting in touch with like my own spirituality really, really helped as well.
So you are saying good things about yourself now?
Yeah, because part of, I guess, my routine is just waking up, you know, saying really good words of affirmations. I used to think that was so corny and cheesy. I was like, nobody wants to talk like this, but I would constantly rag on myself in the mirror. And it wasn't ever usually about physical appearances. It was always like, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're unlovable, no one can trust you. Why do you think these people don't stick around? Just things I would make up in my head. None of it was true, but I was really great at just making everything else worse, more worse than it ever seemed. So yeah, and I do it with my son too. We always talk great about ourselves. We'll listen to good music. A lot of my music taste has kind of changed a little bit too, because I think I was welcoming in negative energy without even knowing it. So I try to focus on that. Obviously, I have my bad moments, but I feel like I have much better coping mechanisms than like drinking a whole bottle of wine to myself and blacking out and then waking up at 3 a.m, wondering why my life isn't getting any better, because that was really what I was doing all the time. And it's, I mean, maybe to each their own, but it wasn't working for me anymore. So I'm
glad that you're in a better place. I think that that's something that we all go through. You know, it might not be drinking, it might be something else. And yeah, I think the basis is all the same, right? If you don't fix the problem, it's not going to get better.
Yeah.
You got to take the first step and fix whatever it is that you're upset about within yourself, whatever you want to be, right? If you want to be a great parent, all right, you got to take the steps to be a great parent. If you want to be a great coworker, you got to take the steps to be a great coworker.
Yeah.
Right? If you own your own business, nobody's going to care about your business. You need to care about your own business and make the sacrifices and do things to make that business successful.
Yeah, but it's really hard. I mean, to make any sort of changes, you really have to do a big self-reflection on yourself, and not a lot of people are willing to have like that own self-reflection of like a deep talk of like, this is where I'm messing up, this is what I gotta do. Because you're just gonna have to be upfront, and you gotta be upfront with people around you too. You can't just play pretend anymore.
Yeah.
That was always really hard for me too, because I loved acting like everything was fine all the time. So yeah, when I talked about it publicly on social media, I was like, this is what I'm doing. Like, don't ask me to drink. Don't bring it to me. Don't offer it to me. Like, I need your support on this. And that's why I was so open and raw with it, even early on. I think a lot of people were surprised that I was talking about it so openly. A lot of my sober friends are like 5 years in and they still don't talk about it. But for me, like, I just refuse to live my life in shame anymore for anything that I've done or how I behave. I mean, I can't take back anything, so I'm just going to at least be upfront with how I am now. And more people have to be raw and authentic, and it's uncomfortable, but somebody's got to do it. So I guess it'll just be me. I mean, I have nothing else to hide. I'm an open book, and everything's out on the table now because I've shared it myself. One
thing that caught me by surprise when you're talking about all this is and maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see a skip in social media. You're very social media heavy, even during your process, because you say like you had harm to yourself, and this isn't helping, right? Social media isn't helping this whole situation, but you still stayed active on it. Why?
Yeah. Honestly, and maybe this is my own self-delusion, but I don't think it was really had anything to do with social media. I'm really particular, like who I follow on Instagram. If you even go see like my following list to my number of followers, my following list is very small. I don't follow a lot of celebrities. I unfollowed like all the Kardashians and people I used to love, and that's not a shame to them, but it's just not anything I can relate to. I follow fitness people, but women that look kind of like me. I'm not going to follow a skinny, tall, blonde woman because I'm not skinny, tall, or blonde. So like when I need motivation, I need to find people that kind of look like me and change that. All the negative self-talk, again, it's something I've just done since I was so young. It's part of my childhood, things I went through as a teenager in high school, and it just was elevating, and that was even way before social media. I think I've been really great at establishing a following of people that know me really well, because at the end of the day, they know whatever I'm posting isn't like a front. I'm not sharing anything. I had my son really young. There was a lot of drama on Facebook. I would say everyone I felt like in like Ogden knew everything about mine and my ex's breakup, our custody battle, things we were saying to each other. I'd posted on Facebook, all the screenshots. Like, it was
sounds nasty,
ugly, vicious, nasty, and it was a part of my life that I hate that I did it. On obviously on both ends, but it's something you live and you learn, and like I can't take it back. People that see my life now and can see the progression, and at the end of the day, I think that's what social media is really supposed to be for. I mean, you're supposed to connect with people, and my main income isn't Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. It's more of like a journal for me, because I needed somebody like me to show the ugly shit in life and show that it kind of does get better. And that's always so cliche, and people like, you go and listen to like those celebrity interviews and they're like, I was homeless and now I'm a Grammy Award winning artist or something like that. Like, I think that's always the cliche road of healing and sharing like your life, but I mean, it works, and it works for a reason, because you have to just kind of be open and upfront. And it's also part of my 12-step program. I have to own who I am and the choices and the decisions that I've made, and I can't have any resentments. Otherwise, it could make me drink. So it was a big part of it. And yeah, and it's gotten some people sober. I have a friend that's a few months sober now because I talked about me getting sober. And again, it's harder when you're more of like a younger demographic. So you needed somebody to talk about it. But I get it. Some people need breaks too. And I think social media can be harmful, but you got to be particular with what you allow yourself to intake and watch. And I'm really picky now with what I do.
I want to talk about the Netflix show. So you were casted, you were on the Squid Game challenge.
Yeah. Woo.
Take me, because you told
now
me.
Streaming on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Yeah.
So and this had to have been a year and a half ago, maybe even close. Was it about a year and a half ago when you left?
So I filmed in January of this year. So 11 months. But I sent in my audition video June of last year. So over the summertime. So yeah, about a year and a half since the very start of the process.
I want to start at the very beginning.
Okay.
How did you hear about this show?
So there was a lot of different ads on like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but I also had a casting agent because a few years prior I was casted for The Circle, which is another reality game show for Netflix. But I didn't have my passport, and COVID was just kind of settling down. So it was months out to get my passport. I flew to Denver to get like my same day passport, paid like $600 for it. flight included and all that fun stuff. And then I sent it in, and like a week later, they're like, it's been taking too long. Like, you're done. But that same casting agent had listed Squid Game as a challenge. They're like globally ages from like 18 to 70. If you think you can do it, you'll win $4.56 million. So I was like, heck yeah, dude. Like I could do that. I'm athletic. I have been through so much. Like, if I can get through my life, I can get through anything. And yeah, I sent in my audition video, and that was the start of a big experience.
What does this audition video look like? What are they looking for? Are they looking for you in the gym? Are you like, what are they?
I think it's a mixture of everybody. I mean, the age groups are people from all across the world. I met people from New Zealand, Australia, from like early 20s to like a 67-year-old. I think they just want people with personalities, obviously a story. Why do you want the money? What would you do with the money? What brought you to audition for it? Sorry, there's something on my eye. Oh.
YouTube, watch the video. Lexa's poking her eye right now.
1 second, sorry. I keep trying to fix it, but I think there's mascara in my eye. Okay. Girl problems. But yeah, no, my video I just really sent in. I tried to be like my bubbly personality self. I didn't want to go into the show talking about like all my trauma and crap that I've been through. It's obviously something I'm proud of, and I know I'll share it one day, my whole life story, and I think it'll really inspire a lot of people. But I didn't want that to be the main go ahead, and maybe that's what hindered me going in, because I didn't have this whole big dramatic storyline. I talked about being a radio DJ. I'm a mom. I'm a first gen immigrant. Things that I love. I own snakes, and living in Salt Lake City, Utah as a minority, like things like that add a little bit of like that pizzazz and my fire. But I didn't dwell a lot on the negative. I guess I wouldn't say negative, just a lot of my past. I didn't dwell on that. And they loved it. They said it was a great personality. I had my snakes in my video on my on my neck. I had my 5-year-old ball python, and just like, hi, this is me. I want to win the money, and this is what I would do with it. And that was the first Zoom call, and then several more. The process is extensive. So,
well, is it just more interviews?
So after the first Zoom call, I waited, I think, like a month, and I got a call back from the producers or from the casting agent saying that I was approved, and to prepare for another Zoom call, which was with the Netflix executives and producers. They ask you a bunch of questions, basically the same thing that you had with the casting agent, but just more in depth and a little bit longer. And then after those, it was like 2 or 3 Zoom calls. After that, then you went on and you had like a FaceTime call with a psychologist. They want to make sure you're mentally stable to go in, because you're also going to be in isolation for a little bit prior to filming. And then you won't have your electronics. I mean, are you going to be okay? If you have kids, are you mentally willing to leave them for 1 to 4 weeks for filming in another country? Because this was filmed in London. So
oh my gosh,
they really wanted to make sure people were mentally okay.
Did you fake it? Because everything I'm hearing is you didn't like isolation by yourself. You love your son, and you're very social.
Yeah.
And that's a trifecta for you.
Yep.
So did you fake that whole psychology?
100%. Yeah. Because I wasn't sober yet. I mean, I think I had been sober for a couple weeks prior to that call, but then obviously I drank right after filming in London at a pub. We took over like this whole pub, like 50 of us. But again, I have to say, like, this trip was the big reason I got sober. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, well, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. And it was intense. It was a lot on like my mental health, but I think it was just something that just snapped. I was like, okay, like I can get on Netflix. I can go film this intense show in the freezing cold for the first game. If I can get through that, like I can do anything. And again, I had a big wake up call with myself. So
have you watched the original show, the Squid Games show?
Yeah, I did. I watched it like 3 different times because I was preparing for the games. I wanted to know like the best ways, I guess, to like lick the sugar cookie. And I kind of wanted to figure out how I wanted to go into the game. Was I going to be a villain? Was I going to be like this under the radar sweetheart? Did I want like any allies? Like you needed, the cast is 456 people.
Yeah.
And it's all different kinds of people. It's not like Survivor where you get maybe like 16 people. Like this is a big cast. It's Netflix's biggest reality show with the biggest amount of money.
Yeah.
So I just kept rewatching them and seeing how different players went through the original Squid Games and like what I feel like maybe I could connect on and put a show on for. So that really helped. It was good. Yeah.
Let me backtrack a little bit. You have the psychology test, you get approved.
Yeah.
Take me through going to London.
They had a big SUV pull up to my apartment complex, like one that you would think like superstar artists are in. I was like, little amazing in this SUV, what? But it was nice. It was fancy. It's like a big Uber Black type SUV thing. They drive you to the airport. You get a lot of instructions for when you land in London because they're going to ask why you're there, why you're visiting. Mm-hmm. So they have like a packet they gave to us. They emailed us to print off. It was very vague because they didn't want people to know we're here filming a Netflix show. But giving them enough reason, obviously, that this is why I'm flying from Utah to London in January.
Was this one flight or did you have to connect in like New York?
No, so my connecting flight was in Denver, and which was crazy because I saw a few other cast members, but we weren't allowed to talk to each other. So we all sat kind of close to each other, but you see a bunch of random people like scattered around and on a random, like, what was it? It was like a random Tuesday. Like, what are the odds that all these people are flying to London on a random Tuesday at this time, you know? But yeah, so I leave London, get on the flight. I've never left the country, but I knew it was a long flight, and it was the most uncomfortable thing of my entire life because I don't know how anybody sleeps. I didn't take anything to sleep with. The food was so-so. I have pictures of it, and it was not that good. And I was expecting more because it was like British Airways. I'm like, oh, this will be great food, babes. And I was just like, oh my gosh, the food. I think I lost like 10 pounds just from like leaving Denver all the way to London, filming, and then coming home because the food was just so awful for me. Which I expect for filming. They're not going to give you like 5-star pizzas, but the food at the hotel was just not good.
Did you all stay at the same hotel?
Yeah, 456 of us. And there were still people that were like there for tourism, staying in the hotel. But imagine like all these people randomly it was just so much. It was intense. And I do have to say, I don't want any like Brits coming for me, but like the beans and the toast and the bacon and the ham is just not good. It's really not good.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Yeah. I mean, the bacon's like this thick. It's not like what we consider our bacon. It's like the thin pieces. It's like the chunky. Oof. And there's no seasoning on it. And then they eat beans on toast.
That might be fire. With some bacon, that might be fire. I don't know. I'll have to try.
Try beans on toast and let me know what you think.
All my British folks, I'm going to try it. All right. I'm going to try it. So do you guys have like a group meeting, a team meeting before you start filming?
No, we weren't allowed to talk to each other at all until we got to the games.
No roommates? You don't have a roommate during your own room?
Nope. So when you get to the hotel, they check you in. It took several hours because they need to register, make sure you're there, show who you are, register like your iPhones and things because you have to give them your electronics. Check in for your tracksuit with your player number on it. You get a bracelet. Sit around. They'll give you like papers and instructions, basically just explaining what the next few days are going to be like prior to filming, because we do have to get like our pictures taken, our headshots. They scan our bodies for the first game so that they can track our movement. And that alone took like a whole entire day because the cast is so big. And I think some people got kicked out even because they were like filming and recording. You're just going to spoil something. And you signed a contract, which that's a bummer because you fly all the way there and you can't even go. So,
well, is it truly 400 plus people? If
456. Yeah. So I found out later that they had people on standby because some people ended up contracting COVID. So they couldn't go in. And then, other people got kicked out for other various reasons. There's some rumors I heard. I don't know if I should share, but there was people on standby just in case, which is good. They were knocking
boots, huh?
Yeah. From what I heard, I don't know. But, once you got all your stuff, they came in, locked up your suitcase, locked up your phone. They took your phone, so you couldn't even, break the lock in your hotel because they don't want people taking pictures of your tracksuit. And
your
then
mugshot made me so sad, though.
Oh, I know.
You look so sad in that photo.
Well, they said to look mean, and I was like, I am a 4'10" girl. What do you want me to do?
You look small but mighty.
Yeah. Well, and they cut my number off, and a couple other players that I'm friends with had similar photos, but we're all shorter. So I don't know if it's the photographer was trying to center it, and then they had to crop it to make it look more pristine. But yeah, it does look like a mugshot. I do want to get it printed on t-shirts and stuff because
you should.
That will hopefully only be my ever mugshot style-esque photo. And I don't know, it's a good memory. I feel like I look so different now. I mean, I have braces. I lost some weight from not drinking. And my hair, I never wear my hair natural like that, so it's super curly. And
so do you guys, in the original Squid Games, you guys are all living in one room. Mm-hmm. Did that end up happening, or did you guys go back to the hotel after filming?
So people that got farther in the show stayed in the dorms, and if you watch the episodes, it looks exactly like the Squid Games. They replicated the entire set, and it looks incredible. I unfortunately got out on the first game, red light, green light. If you watch the first episode, though, on Netflix, there's a girl in there.
Well, Alexa, you just spoiled it for us.
Oh, well, I mean, it's been out. Go watch it now. Spoilers. But no, I do want to say this, though, because it is important. If you watch it, it's the first 15 minutes of the episode. I mean, it goes by quick, but that took us all day, 7-8 hours, and it was below freezing temperatures. And I was prepared for a little bit of cold because you signed the contract saying, can you deal with cold weather? But I wasn't expecting to hold those positions for 20 to 40 minutes. And when I had gotten out, I was sitting crisscross applesauce like this because I had been standing for so long. I couldn't physically take it anymore. My lips were chapped beyond belief. My face was so red and dry. I feel like I didn't move. I mean, I'm going to obviously say that because I'm bummed about it. I have no hard feelings, but my pack went off and I was like, oh, so, but they did have the dorms, and that's where everyone else stayed that made it further in the game. But after that, I got sent back on a bus because we filmed in this airplane hangar that was an hour and a half from the original hotel we stayed at. They sent us a card and they're like, thank you for your participation, and put me on the next flight home the next day.
Damn.
Yeah.
When your pack went off, does it hurt or is it loud?
No, it was just a blood pack. But they had the color blackish. Yeah. It really more just scared me. It really just hurt my spirit more than anything because I'm a very competitive person, and I was so bummed out. I was like, I've been playing this game with my son for months. Come on, but I really wasn't anticipating the freezing cold.
Yeah. Damn, you could have trained in the winter out here. It's freezing out here.
I know, and I wish I would have done it, but again, I mean, the rounds went anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, and you cannot move.
No.
And also, I will say this, I didn't go in with a big sob story. And I feel like that for some people really helped. I won't share any other spoilers, but you'll see the storyline of other characters, and it's okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes for good TV, and I just didn't really go heavily into that. I kind of wanted to just be my fun, quirky self, make friends. My goal was to go in, make an alliance with some older people, some younger people, because I need the strength, I need the wisdom, and kind of go in under that. I didn't want to tell people I had a kid. I wanted to be very a persona of who I am, just because I know if you share things, it can be used against you. I've seen so many other competition shows, so that was my game plan, and maybe it was wrong. So now I know better for the future.
For the next game show?
Yeah, I'm going to apply to more. I think this will be fun. And now that I've done one, I feel like I'm already kind of on a radar of some sort. Maybe I'm on a list. I don't know.
Did anybody try to get with you or what?
No, not at all.
No?
I was very adamant about not talking to anybody because I read the contract and I do that for a living. And I was like, I'm not risking getting my entire filming gone because you want to sit and have chit chat with me. So even when you go to get food, they give you a time card. That's when you go down. And I'd be in the elevator with other people and they're like, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just look at them and it was weird. I felt like an inmate in prison, but I was just like, I don't know you. Maybe you're like a narc and you're one of the staff members, but I'd already heard that people were getting sent home and I was just like,
That's smart.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. So I was a mute. I think I didn't hear myself talk for days.
Do you know if there was a lot of people from the States over there?
Yeah, I met a bunch of people from the States and then I met a lot of Brits and then I met one guy from Australia, another one I think was from New Zealand. A lot of people, I met two of my friends, they were from Dallas, which was cool. I didn't meet anybody else from Utah though, so I think I'm representing, putting us on the map.
You got out first 15 minutes.
But I still made it there, you know?
You did.
And yeah, it's exciting. You don't hear Salt Lake City, Utah ever on TV. So unless it's like a documentary.
Yeah, about Warren Jeffs.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something that I actually just found out about the conditions. A lot of people are upset about the conditions on the show. There's some lawsuits happening.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, good luck to them, but
you signed a contract.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, there was 3 people. There was like a few people. I won't say 3, but it was like 2 or 3 that did need medical attention during the games. Like the second round, a girl passed out because her knees were locked. But I mean, it sucks and I wouldn't wish like that damage on anybody, but you're also going to be handed $4.56 million and no other game show's done that. I don't know if they're going to do another show like this ever again. So, I mean, it's going to be rough. And some of the games are similar to the Squid Games, the TV show, but they switched it up. And I mean, they have to make it harder for you. If it wasn't as cold, I don't think as many people would have gotten out when they did. And what are you going to do? You can't build 300 dorms. You got to cut the amount in a half or like a quarter of the amount. And that's what they did. So
did you get to keep your outfit?
No, I wish. I don't even have pictures of it. All I have is that mugshot photo. We had to hand everything in. I think some people kept their shirts, but again, I'm not trying to get sued by Netflix. I'm not that dumb or desperate. I mean, I can buy the same one off of Etsy. Yeah. So, yeah, I have a lot of photos, and that's the memories I get in my brain.
Well,
so.
And you got to travel across seas, like even though the food sucked and it was a long flight, like you still got the memories.
Yeah, it was such a fun experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I mean, I'd maybe take a Benadryl before the flight so I could actually sleep because I don't think I had slept in like 2 days prior to the games. And then you're just malnourished and you're nervous.
What was a game that you really were looking forward to?
I really wanted to play. Honestly, Red Light, Green Light was exciting for me because I played it a lot with my son, but I really wanted to do the sugar cookie one. Oh. I had made them several different times. I tried all the different shapes and timed myself because I was like, okay, this is great because it's not really about strength. I was nervous for tug of war because I'm like, anywhere they put me, I'm not going to be helping these people because not only am I small, but I'm not as strong as these people.
That was the whole point of the show was it's not about being strong. It's about technique.
Right, but you still got to have strong people on there. I mean, you can have all the techniques in the world. That's not going to save you flying off of a cliff. But also playing the actual Squid Games where you jump around in the layout. That one I was excited for because it's reminds me of all the shows I played as a kid. And I'm the oldest, so I would always play with my little siblings and play them in elementary school. And yeah, I was prepared for a little bit of everything, but I guess not enough. So
well,
I'll get it next time.
Yeah, hopefully you get another chance at some type of game show.
I hope so.
I think you're destined to make it on that type of platform.
I think so too. I'm good at talking with other people. I feel like I can make friends really well, or I can make enemies pretty quick, and that can be good for television. I would say I'm not a violent person, but I very much have a mouth on me, so it's gone a lot better in sobriety. Obviously, I got to treat everybody like a sick friend, but don't piss me off.
You've been training. You trained for a 5K.
I did, yes. I don't know who the heck I think I am. I'm changing my whole persona of life. I wanted to get into running for fun because I've weightlifted since I was 16. And as puberty has hit me a second time after like 25, my body's changed a lot more. And I feel like weightlifting really wasn't giving me the physical results I wanted. I'm already strong. I have muscle. I've got strong legs, but I really wanted to obviously like slim down, but I wanted to build up my endurance more because I was noticing like I could lift or bench a good amount, especially considering for my body size, but like running up the stairs was making me winded. And I was just like, well, this is, a little bit embarrassing. And I also saw a lot of the videos from the New York City Marathon that really inspired me. I saw a bunch of people that were running blind, or like cancer survivors, like people that have physical stuff that like is never going to go away. I mean, you get in a remission of cancer, but your body's still going to never be the same. And I was like, okay, well, like those people can run a marathon. Like I can do one too. And it's not anything with ego, but more so like it was just an inspiration of things to fill my time. You get sober, you get kind of bored. And you got to fill that time when you're not drinking, and there's only so much TV you can watch. And running you can do for free. I mean, it's not a cheap hobby. You got to get some good shoes and stuff, but I can run outside right now for an hour and just get more into my mind. And again, I am who I'm surrounding myself with. A lot of my sober friends run for fun. They run to challenge themselves. They run to think. People that had a drinking problem, again, were thinking just like me. We're our own worst enemies, and we get inside our head way too much. And running is a great alternative to really getting out of that and processing your emotions. They always say like feel your feelings, but not a lot of people do it or don't know how. So I was like, oh, this running thing will be great. I don't know if I can tell you it's fun yet. The 5K was okay. I didn't love waking up at 5:30 in the morning, and running outside again in the freezing cold was hard. I'm not somebody that loves the cold. I'm cold all the time anyways.
Yeah.
So forcing myself to be cold early morning on Thanksgiving wasn't exactly like the time of my life, but I got it done, and it was fun after. I was glad I did it.
How far is a 5K?
It's 3.1 miles.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you did it in 19 minutes?
No, I wish.
Well, how long was it?
About 40 minutes. Yeah.
Oh,
Average
okay.
is like 36 to 41.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So my mile pace was about 13 minutes.
So are you planning on doing this once a quarter? Do you want to do more of these? Are you working towards like a marathon?
Yeah, that's the goal. My son wants to do another 5K with me in February. I think I'll do that one with him, but also find another one that's a 10K, which is about 6.2 miles.
Wow.
And just slowly work my way up. I have no desire to beat a certain time or break a record. I just want to get it done. And you got to slowly work your way up to that many miles because the marathon's 26. So, yeah. But people do it from all different ages, and especially the New York City Marathon. Mm-hmm. That's like one of their biggest events there. And I love New York, and I love the energy there, so it'd be nice to do that one day, but it's good to have like a goal that I feel like I can realistically go to and work myself towards, because I gotta have some goals like that.
I love it. I love where you are. I love hearing about it. I want to hear more about like Christmas with LP.
Okay.
How was Christmas growing up? Did you guys celebrate it? Was it a traumatic time? Was it bright? What was it?
I feel like, it was okay. I don't have like a lot of wonderful memories from my childhood, unfortunately. I feel like life for me got really good the moment I had my son. Everything else behind that was really hard. I was parenting my parents, parenting my siblings from a really young age. I was cooking, I was cleaning, which obviously is a normal thing, I guess, for the oldest child, but it's just so much to put on somebody at that age. And I also grew up really poor. I grew up in a trailer park. I never had my own room till I was an adult at like 22, 23 years old. And even then, I mean, I had a toddler, so I just barely, I think the last 4 or 5 years, know what it's like to sleep in like my own bed, in my own room, in my own space. Which, I mean, isn't the worst thing ever. Some people don't have roofs over their heads. Some people don't have any parents. Looking back at it now, I know my parents probably did the best they could with what they got. I mean, sometimes that's just not enough, but Christmases were okay. I got a lot of like Sub for Santa presents. So if you don't know what that is, it's people donating money to underprivileged families that can't afford Christmas. So I'd get sometimes random gifts that like I didn't know what they were, but I was like, this is great. Like I have presents to open, or I'd get Christmas presents from our ward, our LDS church, because again, everyone knew we were really poor, so we'd get gifts from families that had donated toys for the family and the kids, and that was usually how Christmases went for me.
Do you and Asher, your son, do you guys have like, do you guys do traditions, or do you guys build memories in like during this time of the year?
Yeah, for sure. We always go see Santa. We always go see several like different locations for Christmas lights and stuff. The 5K, I think, will be our newer tradition to kick off the start of the holidays, because he was excited about it. He finished the last quarter with me.
I seen that video. It looked really cool.
Yeah, and I was surprised he wanted to do it. I didn't sign him up because I want him to have that desire. I don't want him to just do it because he needs to. But then we watch all the older Christmas movies, like all the Santa Clauses that I grew up watching. We always write a gratitude letter of things we're thankful for. And about the first week of December, he donates a lot of his toys to thrift stores, or we'll drop him off over at the shelter because he's been blessed with a lot. He's very much spoiled. He doesn't have a thing he doesn't need. Or he doesn't go without, I guess you could say. He has everything he needs. I obviously don't live in like a big house, but I also don't need a big house. It's just him and I. So we always donate, and then we go and we try to pick like a angel family. There's angel for Christmases that you can do whose kids' parents are locked up in the state penitentiary, and they can be from like California, Mexico, Utah, and then those inmates will send you like a list of the things that their kids will want.
Oh wow.
And so I did that the last 2 years, and I loved it, and it was great because I did like a $50 limit just to kind of be a little bit realistic, but that's always good. And it reminds my son, that not everybody's lucky as we are. To him, I mean, I'm sure he can see his friends that have like big houses, but I think to him, he doesn't see anything different as far as like our lifestyle. And I guess technically I'm middle class with how the IRS is making these tax brackets. I want to say I'm middle class, but I mean, that's what it is. And it's a lot different than I had growing up. So it makes me feel thankful because it was just like a good reminder that people can grow and make things better for themselves and bless other people. This time is hard for a lot of people, even if you've got family and money. I think it's a really emotional time, and it's also cold and dark, and our bodies physically are like kind of shutting down. So I mean, it can be tough for everybody.
Absolutely. I love that you guys are creating memories. That's really dope.
Yeah, you got to. Even ones that are free. I mean, cookies are always a fun time, and let them decorate them and make them look all crazy.
Yeah.
And eat like 5 of them. I mean, I'm at that point where like.
Are you still licking every cookie now?
No, not for me
cookies,
really.
Now you lick them?
No, I think for like the sugar cookies and stuff, like I don't really like the sugar cookies. I'm very particular with my sugar intake. Chocolate chip cookies are my go-to, but just like letting them be a kid and eat a little bit of sugar isn't going to kill him. He's never had a cavity.
Wow.
He goes to the dentist every 6 months like he's supposed to. So, I mean, those little things just make me feel grateful. I never went to the dentist as a kid.
That's scary.
So,
But
I mean, I just learned. It's things you learn, and it's not. I don't ever share those things on like social media or my life to get like any sort of pity. It's really just more like those small things. I don't think a lot of people realize they're life changing for me. Getting braces this year was like a really emotional time for me because one, I paid for them myself, but I've always wanted braces and I'm almost 30. So like those are things I think a lot of people just take for granted. That's why I always like to just talk about it. It's never really much for sympathy or pity. It's just like I'm currently living in a lot of life-altering moments in my life. I'm experiencing a lot of firsts late in life because I just never had them as a kid. So things like this make me smile and laugh, and I get to do it with my own kid, which not a lot of people get. So I think that's even cooler. And I'm like, heck yeah, dude. Like, we're going to do it together and have fun and experience it. And we're just kind of winging it a little bit, which is fun.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump into one must go. It is a freezing December day. Your coffee's brewing. You're trying to stay warm. You can smell the holiday scents in the house. Grab your coffee, grab your hot cocoa, grab your beverage of choice, and I'll bring the stories. Hi, I'm DreRawka, and this is 12 Days of Podsmas. We'll be talking to some of your favorite people, getting to know what their childhood Christmas was like and what they're doing today.
Listen daily with my dad and his friends for 12 Days of Christmas. Only here on Unrestricted.
I gave you the rundown before we started recording.
Yeah.
I got 3 categories: food, movies, and decor. I'm going to give you 4 of them, and you have to tell me one that you want to get out of here. Okay?
Okay.
For movies, Polar Express, The Grinch, the 2000s edition, rendition of it with Jim Carrey.
With Jim Carrey, I was going to say, okay.
23 years old. That's crazy.
That is, oh my God, it makes me feel old.
Charlie Brown Christmas or Bad Santa. One of those got to go.
Polar Express.
I wasn't a fan of it either.
Yeah. I didn't love it.
I like the idea of it, but yeah, not my favorite. Okay,
Yeah.
Food.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie, cookies, brownies, or cake.
One's got to go.
One's got to go. I know you said you have a sweet tooth now.
Yeah. Honestly, probably the pumpkin pie. I eat the other 3 on a regular basis. That's the great thing about free will. Like, I don't need a reason to eat cake.
Yeah.
So I'll go get like a slice of cake and brownies.
What's your go-to cake?
I really like cheesecake.
Mm.
So I know that's not like a normal cake,
No, it
but
is.
cheesecake's my favorite. And then when I was pregnant, I craved it like crazy. So now I love it more. It was cheesecake and orange chicken from Panda Express.
Damn.
Random as heck, but that's all I wanted.
They say that
And I love it to this day.
they say that the kid takes on the mother's cravings. So does Asher like cheesecake?
Yeah, he likes cheesecake. He likes orange chicken too. Yeah. I feel like that describes Asher. A little salty and sweet, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's a little bit of both. So maybe that's why the orange chicken and cheesecake got to him.
My dad told me my mom ate pickles and sunflower seeds when she was pregnant with me. And I love them.
Really?
Oh, I love pickles.
Yeah. I love pickles too. They're
I want to
good.
try to pickle my own pickle, but it's a lot of work. But maybe one day.
Did you say pickle your own pickle?
Yeah, right? Or pickle a cucumber.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, create a pickle.
I mean, I didn't know what you were saying for a second. That's why I was having to clarify, Dre.
All right, last one here. Decor.
Mm-hmm.
Lights, and we're talking about Christmas, right? Holidays. Lights, music, or snow activities. One got to go.
Snow activities. I don't like being cold. I'm telling y'all, I live in the worst state for somebody to be stuck in the snow all the time. Yeah, because I love music and I like, you know what? I'll take this back because I can't think selfishly. I'm going to say the Christmas lights because I have to build a snowman with my son every year. Mm-hmm. I don't enjoy doing it. I'm not going to pretend that I enjoy doing it, but I do that a lot with him, and I do sledding with him. So yeah, I would say the Christmas lights because the music is just the best thing. My favorite Christmas album, what do you think it is?
Your favorite Christmas album is Justin Bieber's Christmas?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Did you see me share
No.
that? Oh, yeah.
Is it really?
It's his old Christmas one that, he made it. I think he was like 15 and the like Boys to Men is on there.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
Now, Motown Christmas, I'm old school. My dad put on that old school Motown record on the record player, let it go. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Those are the best ones. I can't do like those ones. What are they called? The ones from like the 80s.
What was that?
I'm trying to think. It's that older guy. He's like, I've been dreaming.
Oh, Bing Crosby?
Yeah, is that him?
Or Frank
His name?
Sinatra? Those are the best.
It's not Frank Sinatra. It's not that one. It's the older guy. You can tell.
It's got to be Bing Crosby then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't love that.
No?
No.
I'm old school.
I mean, I'll take some Motown, but not like... You know what? Shout out to him. You did great.
My dad.
I like your Christmas music.
My dad's so funny. He's like, have you heard Kelly Clarkson's Under the Mistletoe or Under the Tree?
She's incredible. I think she's such an underrated artist.
Oh, she is great. My dad is in love with her.
Yeah,
This
every
60-year-old
cover
black
of
man
artist
is in
she
love with
does. Because she can take any song of any genre and really make it seem like it's her own song. And the Christmas ones are insane. Any like musical ones, when she does like Dreamgirls songs, I die. She's just so talented. So she needs to make another Christmas album. And so does Mariah Carey, but I don't know if she can hit those notes the same.
Nah, Mariah did her thing. Let her live. She's good now.
Yeah.
You can retire, boo-boo.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's jump into naughty or nice. I'm going to give you some names. You have to tell me if they're on the nice list or the naughty list. Okay?
This was the one I was afraid of. Okay.
All right, the first one was one that you did an interview with, Tech Nine.
Oh, he's on the nice list. He was so credible. I loved meeting with him. I've been to his concerts like 4 or 5 times, and the way he performs on stage and the way I've seen him, I was like, oh my gosh, like he's gonna be really uptight, or maybe he's just like very stuck in his ways. I made a lot of horrible assumptions going into that interview, and I was wrong about every single one of them. And he's a new dad of like a 3 or 4 month old baby, so he's just in baby bliss and like the sweetest guy. I hope he gets all the love.
Yeah. One question I should have texted you was, how was it working with DreRawka? Because they have that song Face Off.
Oh yeah. No, I did ask him a little bit about that. Yeah, I should have gotten more into depth with it. But next time I'll be more prepared. This was really a last minute interview. And again, I wasn't hungover. So that was another blessing of being sober, as I could wake up and like do it really last minute.
You guys had that thing in common too. That was really cool.
Yeah, he's like a couple years sober, which is shocking because, you know, it's surprising when celebrities talk about it because it can be some good press, bad press, or people make assumptions. So,
all right, next one. Women. Are women on the nice list or naughty list?
Women are always on the nice list.
All
Shout out to my ladies. Call me.
Netflix.
They're on the nice list. I mean, I have the subscription, but they're about to be on the naughty list if you keep raising those monthly prices. So figure that out.
That couldn't be a part of your guys' package. Like, yo, thank you for coming out. We give you a year subscription.
Right. That would have been solid because I pay for me and my dad to be on it, and then Asher, and then you have to pay that extra money to have the split TV.
Yep.
So 2 people at the same time, or more than 2 people can watch Netflix at the same time. So I pay for 3 people. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But now it's like they're talking about $40 a month or something like that.
That's too much.
It's more than cable now. Yeah. I'm like, let's just go back to cable.
Did they pay you already?
Who?
Netflix?
I didn't get paid.
You didn't get paid for this?
Mm-mm. No. That's also a big
No wonder they're suing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, a lot of people missed work or dropped out of school. A lot of people had businesses. I have like a bunch of homies that run like real estate businesses that are in my group chat that had to like hire people to watch over it because you're gone for a while.
Jeez. Netflix, you guys got money. You guys should have paid them. All right. Taylor Swift.
Can I plead the fifth on this?
No. Naughty or nice list.
This is going to make me sound like such a pick-me. I loved her growing up, but I do need to explain myself. I loved her when she was a country singer. I haven't listened to her in years. I think she's incredibly talented. I just think it's highly disrespectful that a lot of people try to compare her to Michael Jackson. I don't think anybody will be Michael Jackson. The sheer essence of you comparing her to somebody like him just shows like how iconic MJ was. And honestly, like a hot take, I've seen other interviews where people have talked about this. This isn't my most original thought, but it's one I agree with. I think she doesn't use her feminism, like her femininity, in the way you would want it to be used. I think she uses it more so like a weapon. Like if you don't agree with her, then she kind of uses that in a negative outlet. I also don't really relate to the music a lot. I wouldn't say naughty list. I wouldn't say the nice list. I guess like to be determined. If I had to pick, I'd probably say naughty. Yeah.
Okay. Elon Musk talked about his Cybertruck.
Are you trying to get me on like a list of some kind? I don't know. I don't know enough about the man to have like a strong opinion. I will say this though. I thought it was really exciting that he was like allegedly going to fight Mark Zuckerberg in the ring. Yeah. And my money was on him. I was like, in some weird way, like I wanted him to win, and I could see that. I don't know. I'm going to say naughty list, because why the hell did you change Twitter to X? Like, nobody calls it X. It's black. And the fact that you, like, changed it from the pretty blue color to, like, the black and white X and makes it look like all the other apps. And didn't he name his son, like, some weird name? I think that's, like, considered child abuse. He named it after, like, a flight or plane that he really loves with like a bunch of hyphens and stuff. And I don't think that's cool.
I'm sure the kid is a great kid.
I mean, I think it's like a toddler. We'll see. It's pretty.
So is he on the nice list or naughty list?
Naughty list, okay. Yeah.
Beyonce.
Oh, a nice list. I love her.
Apple.
Nice list.
Apple, y'all be getting me with these updates, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Reality TV.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm at Judgment Day with Jesus.
Celebrating his birthday.
I would say nice list. I mean, yeah. I'd do it again. I want to be on it more, so for sure.
Okay. Social media.
Nice list.
Depending on how you use it.
Yeah, I mean, just be smart with it, you know? Don't let other people influence you.
Men.
Nice list.
Think men did all right this year?
100%. I've met some of the best men I've ever met in my life this year. Cool. So I'm really thankful.
Last one here. LP.
The nicest. Go me. Yeah, no, she's great. I think little me would be super proud of where we're at in life right now. So she gets all the nice gifts, all the nice accolades. So, and I'm 29, which is exciting. There was a point in my life I never thought I would make it this far. So I'm thankful to be turning 29. It's a big step for me.
So one thing that I always do in closing with Podsmiths, or something I like to do, is what kind of gift would you give, 10-year-old you?
Oh, that's a good one.
You're going to the Christmas party. You see little LP, 10 years old in the corner.
Yeah.
What gift are you gifting her?
Oh my gosh, Dre. You should be a therapist. I'm just kidding. Ooh, I don't know. If I could, I'd give her a picture of myself and Asher. I think to kind of show her that things get better. That you can get your own family. It might not be exactly like what you pictured, but I think if she knew that that was even possible back then, I maybe would have made better choices in life. Yeah, I think just like a cute picture. I think that would probably freak her out and she'd feel like she was having like an acid trip, but I don't know. At 10? Yeah, I mean, what would you think if you found this woman that's older than you? Yeah. I think something like that would be cool. I only say that because I look at my like kid photos all the time on my phone. It used to be my wallpaper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same person, but I think it's just a good reminder that take it easy. Things get better. All the cliche sayings, I love them now because I use them all the time. So
it's very cliche, but it's very true.
Mm-hmm.
LP, I really appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for having me.
You have a great story. I'm excited to hear the journey. You know, we've talked about you being more active on this side of the mic.
I know. I need to.
And, you know, that will come, you know, with 300 down, 65 to go, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Right? Yes, sir.
Congratulations on everything this year. You know, you've had a tremendous year, turn around your life. Just keep going. Do it for yourself. You know?
Yeah, I think it's gonna just get better, and this is just the beginning for me. So
hit Squid Game one more time. Where can we watch it? What are we looking for? What to expect, and all that good stuff. And then socials.
Yeah, Squid Game: The Challenge Season 1 is now streaming on Netflix. You can find it episodes 1 through 5 right now. Depending on when this comes out, you'll see the rest of the season.
December 2nd.
Yes, you'll see the winner of the $4.56 million on social media. You can find me anywhere on anyone. I'm on all of them. The handle is just the same. It's Lexa Penadillo. That's Penadillo.
There you go. You can also hear her on air.
Oh yeah, every weekend at 92.
She forgets she does radio.
Every weekend 92.5 The Beat. 10 to 2 on Saturdays and 9 to noon on Sundays. And yeah, I'm in the studio talking it up and hyping you guys up for the weekend, giving you good vibes and energy.
And if you're outside of the local Utah area, you can stream it on the 92.5 The Beat app or 925thebeat.com. Tap in with LP. She gets you through your weekend. She talks about life and celebrities, and I'm sure she's going to talk about this podcast. So
yeah, of course. A little bit of everything and keep you on your toes.
Absolutely. Allrock.com, ALLRAWK.com. Go get yourself a hoodie. Go get a t-shirt. Support the podcast. I can't have this studio unless you buy something. So help a brother out. Follow me on Instagram at DreRawka, DreRawka. I hope you have the day you deserve. Always protect your light. Merry Christmas to all, and to all,
a good night. Bye.